Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be doing a brief stock analysis on McDonald's, and if you do end up enjoying the video, please come check out my channel as I do a lot of brief stock analysis videos very similar to this one. McDonald's is currently at about $215 and it has seen 129% growth in their stock price in the last 5 years. And if we look at the last year, the stock price has actually increased by about 34%. And if we look at about the last 6 months, McDonald's has been in a pretty much a constant growth state with their stock price. So if you are interested in investing, I would highly advise you to wait for McDonald's price to pull back a little bit and set a limit price. So definitely do a little bit of analyzing on a chart on your trading platform or on Yahoo Finance if you are interested in entering the market and investing in McDonald's. Next, I wanted to take a look at their revenue and earnings for the last 4 years, and it's actually really interesting because their revenue has slightly decreased year over year, while their earnings have increased year over year for the last 4 years. Normally, when revenue decreases for the last 4 years, I would say that's a really bad investment for a stock, but I think a big part of it is because of the shaky markets in South America as well as Asia, and it especially isn't very bad since earnings have actually increased for the last 4 years. Next up, I just wanted to take a look at a very simple chart showing the dividend yield for McDonald's stock, and the dividend yield has actually increased every year for McDonald's since the year 2000, which is really interesting. I'm actually going to talk more on that later in the video and what's changing about McDonald's stock, so definitely stick around for that. Next up, I wanted to spend a minute on this chart, which is actually really interesting. I highly advise you to pause and take a look at all of the different countries that McDonald's is really huge in right now, because I did find this chart very useful and interesting to kind of base where future McDonald's potential growth can be in the future. So normally when I take a look at a chart like this for different restaurants, I try and see which markets the restaurant or brand is not capitalizing on yet. But with McDonald's, they've really capitalized on just about every country and market that they really can make money on, which is really not a good thing for growth for McDonald's. And McDonald's actually entered India in 1996, and they still have fewer than 100 stores open in India. So I think if they were going to be highly successful in India, they would be doing a lot better in India than they are currently doing. They're actually doing better in China than in India, which is highly surprising. And most countries have a better time finding growth in India than in China, just very simply because of the way the Chinese government works and how they favor local Chinese companies over international companies looking for growth in China. And when I was looking for a chart like this, I was actually having an extremely hard time finding a chart showing new stores opened in countries worldwide, and I was finding tons of charts on how they are improving profits and revenues in stores that are already existing. And I think that's because they're really not opening too many more stores internationally compared to what they've done in the last few years. So they're definitely starting to slow individual store openings worldwide, which is definitely troubling for growth stock investors. One thing that has definitely helped McDonald's do so well internationally is that they can adapt their menu to all of the different markets, which has helped them a lot in their new store openings in the past. Next up, I wanted to take a look at a couple of points by an analyst at Morningstar who gave McDonald's a buy rating. The first point I just wanted to touch on really quickly, it's the McDonald's global average unit volume and cash-on-cash returns for new restaurants exceed most other chains, which is a extremely valuable asset for McDonald's, and another big reason why they've been able to open so many more stores and be so profitable with those stores. And then I really wanted to touch more on this second point by an analyst at Morningstar, which said that we see McDonald's as attractive for income investors looking for global middle-class consumer exposure. And I definitely agree with that statement. McDonald's has increased their dividend every year for the last 19 years now, since the year 2000. As they really can't be opening too many more stores worldwide, all they can do is increase profitability or try and spend a lot more capital trying to expand in the Indian and Chinese markets. That's really the only place they have opportunities for more growth. So I think they're really going to start increasing that dividend yield a lot more than they even have been doing in the past several years. So if you are looking for an attractive dividend yield that's going to keep it increasing that dividend yield year over year, I think McDonald's is definitely the stock for you, and they do still have some growth left for them. Overall, I would say if you are looking for a really great growth stock opportunity, I think there are better investments out there. But if you are looking for a really good long-term stock that's going to increase their dividend year over year for probably decades to come, I think McDonald's is a really good choice for you. On my channel, I've actually done a lot of videos on better investment opportunities than McDonald's, so be sure to come check that out if you are interested and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching to the end.